And we're live. Welcome to episode 227 of the MailleWerX Chainmail Livestream. My name's Sean. I just realized my microphone wasn't on. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Hope it was a good one. Hope kids and significant others took good care of you today. What is going on? So I just sent out a message to everyone who's downloaded the app, so we may have a bunch of people in here tonight, but for those who are here, how you doing? What's going on? What have you been up to this week? I had an interesting weekend, and I will tell you all about it. Actually, it wasn't that interesting. It was just a regular weekend. You had a nice quiet day, got stuff done today instead? Nice. Very nice, very nice. Switch to... My music is a little loud. Can you guys hear music? Doing well, working on another handle on your third blade? Yeah, I saw that. That's badass. I think that is a cool project. I have wanted to do something like that for a long time. I saw someone pull off something similar in a knife group. Where they cast the... I'm just going to go over to the overhead camera. You have very dramatic strings, and you like them. The music, good. If you can hear it, great. Finally got it working. Went in and had to refresh the Puzzle Rocks app. Then I tried to get it to connect to my Discord, and it wouldn't let me, so I don't know what that's about. But as long as you can hear it, I can hear it. And that is... all I want. So right now I am just filling up the sides of this quasi jelly cube, right? Or we get to work on something else. The music better than the 80s gamer stuff that's normally in your background? I don't. It's set to pick. Hey Barb. It's set to surprise me. So it's supposed to go through stuff and pick different songs, and they're not always winners, but that seems to work better than picking one channel and just listening to the 10 songs on that channel over and over and over again. So I would have to, I think in order to make the music experience better, which I'm totally willing to do, I am going to have to upgrade the Pretzel Rock application. But in order to justify doing that, there is, I gotta have the funds to do it. So... I think it's like $15 a month, which not unreasonable for good music, but I don't think that I stream, I stream what, 5 hours a week if I'm lucky. So I think it's $15 a month, rather. Seems a little steep to me. Where's the main chat watching this? They are on Facebook. Greg, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Very rare that we get anyone coming in from YouTube, but yeah, if you go to the MailleWerX Facebook page, should be the first post. So is there anyone here who got the notification from the app that popped in? I'm curious about that. Hi Karen, how are you? And if you are here, let me know if you did get a notification. I want to make sure that that is working. It comes through on my phone. Karen got a notification. She's here because of that. Well, thank you for joining us. How are you tonight? It does work on my phone, and I have had some people say that it didn't work on theirs. I'm curious as to why. You didn't check? Your app doesn't let you know? You might go into the app in your account and check the settings to see if you have it set to no notifications. That might be how, I think you have an iPhone, that might be how it You're all right? Just finished working on a Vipera Barrows set. Nice. I really like the Vipera Barrows bracelet I got from Tracy Sassy Last Studios. Greg is haunting the YouTubes. Barb didn't get anything? Okay. I do like this. I want to make one. That's okay. I will look into why it's not working. Because it should be to everyone worldwide. Like, you shouldn't be limited because you're in Canada. So, I don't know. Come on. Maybe there is something in the background that I am not aware of. Come on. It's been a little quiet on the app. Not a lot's going on, but we don't have... Using square wire and blending with some ladybug charm elements. Nice. That's on your to learn lists? It's on my to learn list too. I look at it and I go, I know I can do it. I just have to sit down, and I even have the right ring size for it, so make about, I don't know, a dozen of those. My favorite bears and King VB are super fun. They're awesome weaves. I really like the look of those. So, right, so today we went out and we hung out with my mother-in-law, and the boys played baseball, and we had some hamburgers, and the girls went shopping. Yeah, post some pics. Definitely. Oh yeah, definitely post them in the app too. I need to post some pictures in there. And, you know, here's one of the things is that it's a social wall. It doesn't respond like Facebook does, where if someone likes or comments on your picture or post, you don't get a notification that someone has responded to you, which I realize is, you know, it's kind of frustrating, kind of hard to keep the space alive, but I think that we can make it interesting. So, all right, so that what I've done here, and this is all I was doing, okay, is just adding an extra ring in here, because this was, it's 16 gauge 3/16 jelly cube, and it's really floppy, and so I added an extra ring all around the edges in every place I could, just to tighten it up a little. And so I was working on that earlier while I was waiting for some, what do you call it? Some drivers for some graphics cards to install and download, and loads of fun. Uh-oh, I hear crying upstairs. He's supposed to be in bed. Alright. You've tried them a few times. There's a brain glitch in there somewhere. You'll get it. Find out where I've been working on this. Alright. So I did finish this the other day. I'm calling this done. This one. Knock that out. My next, I want to use up all the rings I have for this coif. I'm not going to order any more at the moment, but Alex, how you doing? I just want to get through these rings because I'm tired of fixing each one. So I know that if I get through them, hopefully the next batch of rings I order for this coif is, hopefully they're not all screwed up like these ones were. Waiting patiently. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know what is going on with your purchase. It has been sent for a while, so I need to improve that. Shipping's been an issue. It's been a bane to my business for a long time. one day, it'll all work out. I think during the height of the pandemic, I had shipping times up to 6 weeks, and that was nuts. Nobody was going anywhere. What pliers am I using? That makes more sense. It's like these pliers don't feel right in my hand. But no, we got a new website. Well, an updated website. One that looks a little better than the old one. I'm not 100% convinced that it's perfect, but I'll keep working on it. We got the new app, and so with that comes more opportunity to continue to improve stuff. Where hopefully we don't have so many issues. Okay, here we go. I think your cloak took around 4 weeks to deliver, and that was in 2020. According to the shop app used to track your orders, it's showing as placed but not shipped. Mine is showing as having shipped but not arrived. So, I'll keep track of it, and if anything changes, I will let you know. So it's not like the label was printed and then it was shipped, or it would just stayed here. So all right, we did celebrate Mother's Day a little early on Saturday because we were coming over to my mother-in-law's house on Sunday, and we went out to breakfast. I had this meat lover skillet. I'm a huge breakfast fan, and they serve like everything on their menu all day long. So it's a little place called Melly Cafe, and just north of us. And then by the time we were done eating, we were all too full, and it was not warm enough to go out and tromp around like we had wanted to, so. But my son and I made Renee a birdhouse. There's been a couple of kits, carpentry kits, that we have gotten for. It's a subscription plan where we get a kit every month, and the next one is a candy machine. The last one was a marshmallow launcher, marshmallow catapult. Gotcha. Just needs to so you can get this commission started. Yeah, no, I get it. It's frustrating not having stuff on hand. I too am waiting for stuff. Oh, that's sweet. Also, breakfast is the best meal. So yeah, so normally me and my kid work on these kit projects, but this birdhouse project just happened to pop up, and so it is nailed together, and it is stained, and I've got some lacquer for it, and I'm gonna put some spray on lacquer on it tomorrow. Got to see the grandkids on Friday. They came long enough to scatter all grandma's kid-friendly stuff all over the house, and we went to a buffet where the youngest, just a bit over a year old now, had fun smearing mashed potatoes on your sleeve and jeans. And you let them bounce around the park a while. Nice. Breakfast is good if it has steak and eggs with it. Missing them is just a snack. So I don't know. I had ham, sausage, and the hell, bacon. I don't know. I like steak and eggs for breakfast, but yeah, well, my son and his cousin were out playing baseball today, rolling around in the mud. It was like, yes, go and get your energy all out. And we were gonna go tramp around the lake, but it's always 20 degrees cooler by the lake than it is at our house. I am 2 miles away from Lake Michigan as the crow flies, so I don't get down there often. Bacon, not just for breakfast anymore. I'm not much for cooking, but I do like it when bacon is included in a meal. There's not many meals I wouldn't add bacon to. For some reason, and I don't know why, I'm like super jittery. It's weird. Weird, I say. Just got home after being at Nick's since last Monday. He's been working 16-hour days, so he's been looking after Thor. Trust you, puppy got sick of you days ago. Nice. Well, that's good, right? Get a little puppy time in. You know that you're familiar with the lake effects, yeah. The only problem I really have with it is that, like, Lake Michigan doesn't get warm. Okay, it's cold all year round. Sometimes you can swim near the shore and it's okay. But it stays pretty much like 60 degrees. Like, that's as warm as it gets. And then, so we can go to the lake, but it's freezing. You can have a nice day at the beach. Loved your time with him. He just kind of looked at you like, why are you still here, woman? That's funny. And then we do get some lake effect snow. I think the bulk of lake effect snow hits Chicago. And what's that state? Michigan. I think they get it worse over there. But we get some. When the weather person says cooler by the lake, they mean it. Yeah, 100%. Which doesn't do anything for you when it's hot, humid, and there's no breeze, but that's my second favorite Wisconsin weather. It's either freezing cold, too cold to go outside and do anything, and there's piles of snow taller than I am all around, or it's hot, humid, and there's no breeze. Yeah. And the other part of lake effect is that we do get some of the snow. So we have days where it stretches out across the county and it'll dump 14, 15, 16 inches or more. Loads of fun. But kind of like Winnipeg. Good old winter peg. Alright, so I am going to be working on this coif for the next couple of sessions. Like I said, because I do want to get through these rings and just move past them. We're going to power push through. Your town has a microclimate given you're out in the lake. Nice. Like out in the lake on an island or on a peninsula. So here's an interesting happenstance that just happened tonight on our way home. I forgot to get the mail yesterday. And in the mail, was a check for a decent amount of money, right? In the thousands. Oh, you're up in Sheboygan? Okay. In the thousands. And it was for my house's escrow, and it said surplus escrow check. Now, in the 7 years I've been here, I've never received a surplus escrow check before. And so I'm definitely going to call and ask them to verify that I don't owe someone somewhere this money from this check and they sent it to me accidentally. Because it is, like I said, it's a decent amount of money, and it seems like it was collected previously in the year to pay the escrow, but I don't know why my escrow would go down that much. So they do the reassessments in March of every even year, right? So they just did ours in 2022. And so it's not impossible that I got this surplus check. It's just highly unlikely, and that this has been sent in error. But if it hasn't been, well, that's awesome, because that's play money for summertime. My brother's coming from Japan, and me and the family are going to go out there for a little bit later this summer. And then there are a couple trips we'd like to take here in Wisconsin this summer too. So it'll be really neat if we don't have to pay someone this money. That's all I'm saying. It's like, if the bank made a mistake, which would not surprise me, they're banks. They're chock full of them. An escrow overage is when you pay too much into escrows can happen because your mortgage company overestimated how much money they would need to cover tax and insurance payments. When this happens, the mortgage company will send you an overage check. I understand that, right? And I've gotten one in the past. It wasn't this high. And like I said, they just did the reassessment, and so I'm going to call and make sure I don't owe anybody anything and make sure that it's legitimate, because that would be awesome. And then, oh, and I got another update too. So on Friday, the last claim in my VA claims closed as of May 6th. So I should be hearing back from them pretty soon. I would love to have everything with the VA finished up. That would make my day. Who do I call to find out? I'll call my mortgage company, who was also my bank. And it's not like I'm winning the lottery or something, right? Like, I earned the money and paid the money already, and I'm just getting it back if it was in error. Good to check if it feels like... Yeah, I mean, I don't know if... Even if it was lower... Okay, if it was less than, I don't know, like $500 or something, I wouldn't question it. But yes, definitely because of the amount. I'm definitely going to double check. Because if I turn around and spend it, and the bank comes back at me like, oh, you owe us X amount of dollars, it's like, well, good luck getting it from anyone. Like, I'm my unemployment and my 10% VA benefit don't quite cover the amount that you say I owe you. So well, you're gonna have to pull that money from a rock somewhere. So, but I'm gonna avoid that situation. I'm gonna double check, and I'm gonna make sure, and then I'm going to be irresponsible with it. You have 2 houses, so you try to keep up with these things, and the long description was more for folks to watch. Oh, okay. Always fun navigating these things. Yeah, mortgage and banking and all that stuff it's a headache. You really don't want to piss off the bank that holds your mortgage. No. Not really, no. I don't want to piss anybody off. So it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I mean, it would be really nice to have that check as money that I can use, you know, just getting some money back. That'd be nice. And then have all my VA stuff settle and get my check for that. That would be really nice. So I figure I am about a month away from being completely able to be independent. And when I get there, I'll be able to start doing things for myself that make me money, aside from my store. So I just need to hopefully stretch it out for the rest of this month, and then I'll be good. I'm hoping. Because I thought about, I did some interviews last week, and oh my God, I've been working on my projects since March. So March, April, and now, what, 10 days into May? 8 days into May. And it's been so much more rewarding being here, working on this stuff that's going to make me better off, instead of working for someone else at a job that I'm not the biggest fan of. So, and I get why it takes people so long to make this shift, and why some people never started to go from working for somebody else to working for themselves, right? I'm 2 1/3 months in, and I'm not 100% done with this transition from going from a job to being self-employed. So, karma be with man. Okay. Give me that. So, like, if it took me this long, someone who had an idea in mind, who didn't, who knew that if I didn't have any employment responsibilities, I knew what I was going to go do, right? And I've been working on that. And if it's taken me 2 months and change to get to this point, I completely understand why people don't make this transition or are unable to make this transition. That, and it's been really expensive. Excuse me. So, Oh, karma be with me? Oh, thank you. Karma be with you. I assumed that that was what you meant, Greg. All right. It took me 2 solid months to get the website up to where I wanted it to be, right? And that's without working on any designs or, you know, not putting a lot of stuff out there, not promoting my website at all lately because it was being worked on, like it wasn't ready. So, you can never quit the day job. Too many perks you won't get working for yourself. I've been in the medical field for 18 years, and there are no perks that I can't live without. Yeah, no. There's no retirement plans. At most places, there's no 401k match. There's certainly no pensions anywhere. Right. My last job, the paid time off was nice because I never used it, and then after I was no longer working for him, it's free money. But that's also kind of annoying too, where it's like when I worked for them, I didn't really take that time off, you know. So instead I had to use that money to survive. So that was irritating. But other than that, it was nice. It was a nice check when I left. You like your match 401k, your paid time off, 10-year paid vacation, paid holidays, OT making mail on a long project. You don't make more money, so it makes it more to be a hobby, and the surplus income is a good boon. Yeah. I mean, I understand why people don't want to leave their jobs, and not everybody's wired to work for themselves. Some people are completely happy working for an employer, you know? I was completely happy working for my previous employer until everything went down, right? So I would have stayed working for them for a long time, despite the fact that, like, their benefits were useless to me. Chasing the customer base is more hours than most folks realize, and the part you hate the most of sales. Chasing the customer? Sure. There's a lot to be said about that. Some of the guys that I have learned from talk a lot about really getting to know your customer before you ever pitch them, like knowing not individually, right, but knowing what kind of customer they're going to be, right? Are they going to be calling you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? You know, you don't want that kind of customer. They're gonna be chill and take your advice or your service or whatever and run with it. You know? I mean, someone was mentioning the other day, I think it was on TikTok, they were talking about their customers. And this is not the person who I am learning this thought process from. But they were talking about their most favorite types of customers, right? And I have a few customers who are not routine, but they're fairly frequent, right? And they come in and tell me what they want. I make it, and then they come and pay me more than what I asked for, right? And I kind of look at that as an investment to their future purchases, whatever they want, whatever it is, right? So, okay. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate it. If you ever need anything, let me know. You like to make what inspires you muses, not your customers. You will burn out on others' projects. My own is like playing video games. Just run it and go, whoa, it's finished. What's next? So I've got this problem, because my muse has been struck, and I am supposed to be working on all of these rings that I never used up. Actually, I have two problems. All right, Barb, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. So I have two projects. They're very involved. I think that they would require a high level of skill to complete, and I want to do them right now. Right? I want to stop what I'm doing and work on them right now. One of those projects falls within the lines of the things that, the rules I made for this stream, not ordering more rings, which of course has been broken a dozen times now. Finish all the old projects and get them into a state of where there's something, right? Where they're not nothing. Okay? Clean up all the old stuff lying around. Like, finishing up this, right? This was just a long strand of JPL. And now it's a functional, quasi-functional jelly cube. It's much better now that I added all the extra rings. Right? But that is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not supposed to be coming up with new ideas. I am supposed to be dedicated to finishing off the stock of rings that I have and turning them into something, forcing myself to turn them into something. But there are two things, like I said, one of them falls within the lines of this, where I have the rings already and the project has already kind of started, and I just need to continue with it by doing something a little bit different than I already was. But the other project is the Cube and Cube and Cube project. I'm not gonna announce what it is, but that project has evolved to the next step, and it's a doozy of an idea, and I can do it, but I would have to order rings, but it would be super cool, right? Like, do you guys have seen my coffee cup with the interwoven Byzantine hexagons? Ugh. Right? You all seen this? This is a Bubba coffee cup, and I accidentally broke the handle off of it. I have wrapped almost all of my coffee cups. Let's see if I can get you a close-up of this. Oh. Come on, button. There. So there is the black stainless steel hexagons and this regular stainless steel hexagons, all interwoven through each other, right? When I got this idea, okay, I had to do it immediately. And with this cube project, I'm thinking that I'm going to have to do it immediately again. So I've got an issue. I want to stop everything that I'm doing to work on a new project, which of course is not what I'm supposed to be doing. But my idea is, I think it's pretty cool, and while it's not jewelry, it won't make me money. It's gonna be badass, I think. So I'm torn. I really am. And also, it's going to take a really long time. I don't know. I don't know how long. But it's not a small project, so that's another problem. But when the muses are screaming in your head, you have a hard time denying them. 100%, which is why I have so many unfinished projects laying around. It's not just that I took on projects that were beyond my skill level at the time and then just let them rot for 15 years. It is also that I had an idea and I wanted to try something and it worked and I ran with it instead of finishing what I was working on. Or taking what I was working on and like polishing it into a finished product. Right? That is one of the things that I have worked on, and I think I've gotten pretty good at it at this point, and I'm trying to catch up everything that I have. It's not just rings, right? Like, I have guitar straps and belts, straps of some kind that need to be made into something. And they're made, but I have to finish them and make them look like a professionally produced product, right? Like, I think my bracelets are probably the pinnacle of a professionally produced product that I've done. I'm talking about these ones. Right? It's all stainless. It's got an awesome buckle clasp on it. Everything, it looks like it's all just one piece pretty much. I think that, you know, this was a good idea. I ran with it, and I'm really happy that I did. I really like the way this looks compared to some of the other stuff I've made. My bracelets are freaking awesome, dude. Thank you. Oh, that was my elbow. Are elbows supposed to do that? Does anybody else pop their elbow like that? I don't know. Like, I pop my elbows quite often, but are you supposed to? I think the weirdest, I was working on the Trinity 16 gauge 316 stainless steel shirt vest thing that I made while I was in Iraq in 2004. And I was working on it a lot. And I remember getting up from weaving one time and just stretching and just having my whole sternum shift and pop. You've never done that with an elbow? Uh-oh. Okay. You've always been told till I'm welding or soldering my links I am not making professional things, and likely has affected my mentality on my piece of being good versus things I like and others won't. I've been told until I'm welding or soldering my links. Now, okay. That is, taking the professional quality of a finished product to the next step. I wouldn't classify that as, just because something's not welded doesn't make it an unfinished product. I would argue that point. Chest pops shock ya. Yeah, they do. So there used to be this fun thing in the military. What the hell is this thing called? Okay. It is a IV. It's got like 10 or 15 or 20 needles on it. It's about as big around as a 50-cent piece. And it's got this compression trigger where you press it into something and then it springs the needles into a bone, right? Generally your chest, your sternum. And there were a bunch of medics who all had this round scar on their chest because they were trying it out on each other while they were downrange. And the needles go into your sternum and then it gives you intraosseous fluid. It's supposed to be a great way to stay hydrated. I think there are easier ways, but that is definitely one way. I'm not an EMT, or not anymore. I'm not a paramedic. I don't work in any emergency settings where I would see one of those, and like what situation would meet the requirements for using that. But I always just thought it was funny that these guys were so bored that they all had to join the chest IV club. F that. Yeah, 100%. You think I'd rather drink a glass of water? Well, in an emergency situation, you might not be able to, and it's a good way to hydrate someone, or so I'm told. Intraosseous, I don't get the math, but, you know, if you can't get an IV on somebody, or it's dark, and, you know, it's an emergency use tool. So the person you're doing it to is unconscious, or near being unconscious. And these guys did it to themselves for fun, because they're in the military, and you get bored enough to do stuff like that. So if you ever see someone with a weird circular scar with a bunch of points in it on their chest, ask them if they were in a medical unit in the military. Hard nope. There's another one, it's called the Ranger IV. Have you guys ever heard of this? One of the quickest ways to hydrate someone is through their large intestine. I'll let you imagine how the fluid gets there. Yeah, a lot of fun, weird, interesting things in the medical field. When I was in the military. Once I got out of the military, I never left a field unit, right? Or if I had just stayed enlisted and gone back to a field unit after my experience at Brooke Army Medical Center, I wouldn't have left the military, I don't think. Glass of water, please, she said emphatically. I really don't think I would have, because being in a field unit is, looking back on it, I think of it as a lot of fun, right? I was like, yeah, okay, that was cool that we did that. It sucked at the time, right? So I just need to get to a point where things around me suck. I know that they suck, but I'm okay with it because I'm cognitively aware that I chose for them to suck and that's what I wanted, right? I think those are probably some of the most enjoyable life experiences I've had upon reflection, right? Where reflection is, a couple years down the road. Like, for example, when I was a kid, my dad took us all over the western United States. I've seen every rock, crook and cranny, every natural formation, all of it from New Mexico and Arizona, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Utah, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, California. All of that. I've been through all of there, but I did it as a little kid. And so I didn't have the ability to appreciate sitting on the road for hours at a time driving to all these places. Just stick a hose up my butt. Embrace the suck. So at the time, little kid, going around looking at rocks. Not, I liked rocks as a little kid. I had an extensive rock collection. But that was not something I wanted to do. I wanted to go and ride bikes around the neighborhood with my buddies and stupid kid shit, right? So, and my dad had me and my 3 siblings and my 2 step-siblings, right? So there were 6 kids, and him and his stepwife, and this passenger van that we loaded up all our gear into, and we stayed at KOA camps, and it was not the most exhilarating time, but the things that we did were amazing, right? Being from Idaho and growing up there, I never realized like how good I had it living on the doorsteps of the foothills. You can walk 5 miles from where I lived and you're right in nature. And you can do all kinds of outdoor stuff up there. Like, to me, it just was where I grew up, but it's a pretty awesome place. Right? But, I didn't want to do these things as a kid, and I see that in my son now. He wants to do what he wants to do. I was the same way. And it wasn't until years later, years after I got out of the Army, years after I left a field unit in the Army, years after going to really cool places like, not just the Grand Canyon, but Arches National Park, Bryce, Zion, Mesa Verde National Park, probably one of the coolest places on the planet, right? Petrified Forest, the caverns, what's the caverns called? I don't remember. Anyway, I just need to get to a point where, like, what I'm doing sucks, but it sucks because I choose it sucks, all at the same time, where I'm conscious of the fact that I will enjoy it years later. And I think that that's really where I'm working towards right now, getting to a point where I'm not working for anyone else, right? So I'm hoping. I think it'll be, as long as I can pull it off. That's the trick. As long as I can pull it off, I'm thinking that I'm going to be really happy embracing the suck here in a couple months. And if you've never been to any of those places, there's some statistic I read, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I read that most people never travel like 30 miles outside of their home for their whole lives, or 3 hours or something like that, or maybe it's 300 miles is the farthest away they ever go. And I'm not big on travel today. I do want to take my son to all of those rocks and caves and all that stuff, because I really appreciate my dad having done that for me, right? So I would like to do that with him one day. And I was going somewhere with that comment, and I don't remember where I was going, but whatever. It'll come back to me. I remember one time staying at a KOA camp in Utah. We used to go, when we weren't traipsing around the countryside looking at rocks, we went to this place in, I think it's in Ogden, Utah, called Lagoon and Lagoon Beach, and it's this roller coaster place with a bunch of rides and roller coasters and games, and then they had Laguna Beach right across, kind of like Six Flags and Six Flags Grand Rapids or whatever it's called. We did go there like once a year. That was fun. And I never I appreciate it much more now that as an adult I have the emotional capacity to look beyond myself and see it for what it was. And it was just this really awesome thing that my parents did, you know. And it's like, there were some really good NCOs when I was in the field unit in the Army. And there were some really terrible ones when I went to the hospital. Alright. Anyway. Where are we at here? We're at an hour on the money. Look at that. So I feel, if you did come here via an app notification, I won't be sending those out every time I go live. That's not what it's for. You know, a couple of times. Once a week, maybe. And this week, I've got a lot of stuff going on this week. So I'm actually probably going to be doing more Chainmail stuff. Get some of these projects knocked out. For the next 2 days. Like tomorrow, I've got to call the bank and figure out what's going on with that. Afterwards, I've got to do some paperwork nonsense. And then I've got baseball in the evening, so I'm not going to have a lot of time to be like working on becoming self-sufficient. And then Tuesday, I got something Tuesday. I don't remember what. And then Wednesday something. Wednesday's more baseball, but the next 2 days I'll probably just gonna work on a bunch of projects down here, and see what I can get done. So with me, if there are like large leaps in projects that we haven't worked on in a while, it's probably because I took some time to work on them. And we'll see. We'll see how much time is actually taken up. Because I only have about 6 hours a day to do computer work. I get home from dropping my kid off about 8:30. I get started down here around 9. And then from 9 to 3, I spend the bulk of my time working on stuff on the computer. So, and if I don't get to spend a lot of time, or if I'm distracted by phone calls or whatever, I'll just push that stuff until Wednesday. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, all right, let me get this last ring in here. I can't believe how long it takes just to go around one edge. I gotta model this. I should take a screenshot of this. Where are we at here? Let's put this on my pretty little head. Nope. It's a problem. I look in the camera to see if it's like centered on my head, and it never is. All right, we're getting there. And I don't know, is my camera tilted? Is my head tilted? That looks somewhat correct. There. Okay. Got both your angels done while I was streaming? Ready for mailing? Nice. Let's see if I can get this to pull up. Lately, it's been making me like sign into their webpage. There it is. Capture. I just want this portion. I don't know of another way to do screenshots. I'm sure there is one. Hang on. No. Apparently I gotta be smiling. The instant I hit capture. There we go. Alright. Oh god, that's terrible. Hang on. That's better. Okay. Stupid ass smile. Sorry guys, thanks for putting up with this. Save. Just save to desktop. Okay. Alright. Progress made. Got a little bit done on the coif. Got this little jelly cube. Oh, that's right. We did work on this for like the first 5 minutes or so. Alrighty. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I do appreciate you being here. You have no idea how much all your comment and commentary adds to just helping me get this done and bringing me back to doing this night after night, week after week. It's nice, you know, I feel like it helps hold me accountable to making sure that I come down here and get something done. So thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. If you guys, if there's anything I can ever do for you, let me know. All right, so clean up here. And like I said, I do have some stuff. Nothing that should prevent streaming or anything. Just it's gonna be a busy week. Oh, Tuesday's dentist appointment. That's what it is. Not mine. My son's. So anyway, all right. You all have a wonderful evening. Like I said, thanks for being here. I'll be back on tomorrow night, 9 to 10, pending nothing goes wrong. So cross your fingers, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night. All right, you all have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you all later as soon as I find my button. Ooh, I'm getting this cool thing. It's called a Stream Deck. When I have the money, and we're gonna have like voice changes, and I'm gonna push a button, and a little party will happen, and we'll trick it out and make it really cool. But it's like a control panel for your stream. Buddy of mine recommended it to me, and I was like, yeah, that's what I need. Instead of stumbling here for buttons, like this stream ending button that I can never find. All right. Yep, you have a good night too. All right, I will talk to you all later. Bye. Oh, and if you haven't downloaded the app, go to the MailleWerX.com homepage and scroll down towards the bottom. There's the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store links down there. All right, you guys all have a good night. I'll talk to you later.